Oh god, we're buying things. There's time.
I mean, I'm already full on everything, so.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know if you are.
Ooh, I mean, look, what's...
You can throw stuff away?
Maybe. Or maybe you can sell stuff?
That's really cool.
There's a trash can. I gotcha. You can throw stuff away. Okay. Bye.
That works.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it seems to be alternating between the two different clerics. I wonder if it doesn't do that for the warrior because the warrior doesn't have different spells?
I don't know, maybe.
This tree is over 1,000 years old. Not the fiend.
Such an evocative name.
So, what is it? Do you know the game Darkness?
The Darkness?
The Darkness,
yes. I have The Darkness 2 on Steam. I've never played it, though.
Me too. Steve and I have actually played it, and it's like gameplay-wise, it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like there's some multiplayer that's not too bad. The story, however, is terrible. Terrible in that I didn't really pay much attention to it, but I mean, there's just some silliness to it. Like the main antagonist group is just called the Brotherhood. It's like,
yeah,
really?
In DMC Devil May Cry, the like gritty reboot of the ridiculous, stylish action Devil May Cry series, there's a terrorist group known as the Order.
Oh god.
Like, I'm sorry, but no. Stuff in real life is not simply called the insert generic group verb here.
Yes.
Or group noun here.
Yeah.
It, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I guess we're good? I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so look up, like at the top it shows the bald guy, but I'm gonna hit start, and it brings up...
Okay.
So, like, I think it just alternates between them.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's sort of weird.
Speaking of games that aren't very good, I started playing Final Fantasy 13 yesterday.
Yes.
Have you played it at all?
Yeah. Not very far.
Yeah, I'm... The in-game clock says I'm about 2 hours in. My Steam clock says I'm about 5 hours in. So I don't know if maybe I like left the game on for a while or something, or maybe I didn't save it, or maybe just they're not counting the cutscenes. But this game so far is really terrible. I mean, like, I went in, I had heard it's bad. I heard it was linear, whatever. I heard it gets better as it goes, but like, it's just so awful. For literally the first hour, I know this is a tired phrase to use, you are literally walking down a hallway.
Yes.
And you have no options in combat, so all you're doing is just hitting auto attack. Mm-hmm. For the first, 2 hours of the game, you have no options in combat. So, I just don't get how they expected people to want to keep playing this game. I get it. It gets better later. But if I have never played your series before, which most people have not, you should never assume everybody has played your games, and you should never assume that everybody is going to follow your game on faith.
Right.
So, if I've never played your game, and the first 2 hours of the game are spent moving forward and hitting X, you have made a bad game. I don't care if later on it is the best game in the world. You should have started with the best game in the world instead of making you wait through multiple hours, or by some accounts, 30 hours to get there.
I mean, I do remember getting to a point where the combat did start to get kind of fun, but you're right. You're very right. And it is pretty much a literal just you kind of walk down a path to fight a monster.
Yeah, I had heard, people say you walk down a hallway, and I thought, I'm sure it's not that bad. And then I played the game, and no, literally, you're walking down a hallway.
Yeah.
It's
not a straight hallway, but it's definitely you don't really have anywhere else to go.
And I get it, it's an RPG, it's a Final Fantasy game. People probably aren't playing it for the mechanics. So, the story's got to be really good instead, right? So far, no. The cutscenes are so poorly written. The dialogue is terrible.
mean, part of that might be attributed to translation and things like that, but even still.
I suppose, but like, then you got to get new translators because it's so bad. There's a point. I mean, you said you've played the first part of this game.
When it first came out. Yeah.
There's a part where one of the main characters, Snow, is there's like a bomb goes off, a bunch of people die, which the game never acknowledges again, and then he's like hanging on this cliff, essentially, holding on to this woman. Who we've just been introduced to. Then again, we've just been introduced to him 5 minutes before. We were introduced to her 3 minutes before.
Right.
He's holding on to this woman. She then says, keep him safe, instead of telling you who she's talking about. She just says him for some reason. And then she like lets herself fall. And then Snow falls. So both of them fell off of what is essentially a cliff.
Uh-huh.
She is dead and never mentioned by him again. He is perfectly fine. And this is never addressed. Nobody ever says like, oh my goodness, how did you survive that fall?
Oh,
in fact, at one point, someone even like later on makes a similar fall and makes a comment about, oh, there's no way we should have survived that fall. And so anyway, meanwhile, this woman's son is watching this happen, and for some reason he blames Snow, even though Snow fell too. It's not like he dropped her so that he could survive, because he fell too.
Oh,
but like,
was it?
It's one of the other main characters, Hope. I think the characters' names in this are awful. I can't really give it too much crap because, I mean, you know, two of the most popular main characters in the Final Fantasy series are named Cloud and Squall. So I guess I can't really hold it against them, but whatever. So,
it's Cloud, and then there's Lightning.
Yeah, Lightning, Snow, and Hope are three of the I guess 5 main characters. Those are the only 5 characters I've found so far. But like, so it's just, why the heck did they have him fall after her making a big show about how she was letting herself die so that he wouldn't fall, and then he fell anyway.
And then he falls anyway.
What purpose did that serve? And then, like,
I don't know, but there's a guy with an afro and a tiny chocobo chick.
And I mean, I've watched a lot of little videos about this game and people complaining that he's a black stereotype. He's not the most black stereotype he could have been. I'll give them a little bit of credit on that, but he's not a very good character either. The dialogue, all of it, is just so poorly written. Characters will say something and then say something contradictory in the following scene, or they won't understand something that was just explained to them. I mean, if it's a translation issue, get different translators. If it's an issue of, oh, they're Japanese and they just have different sensibilities than us, then I'm sorry, the Japanese need to get some writing lessons, because a lot of things that in the past I've just attributed to, oh, they're Japanese. Nowadays, I'm like, no, that's just bad writing. Like, you can have a character that is incredibly awkward around people to the point where he's not willing to accuse someone of killing his mother, like Hope in this game. But after a point, it's just bad writing. If I thought somebody was responsible for killing my mother, I wouldn't go adventuring with this person. If I did, I sure as heck would tell them what was on my mind.
Oh, right.
At least within the first couple hours.
Right, he just kind of like keeps it to himself for a while. He's like, I secretly hate you.
Yeah. And like, there's a magic scroll here.
This fire, it's just terrible.
Yeah. I don't want to rag on this game too much. It's just like, I really, really tried to give Final Fantasy 13 a good chance. Like, I went in with as open of a mind as I could, but it's just so bad. So far, it is just so bad. Again, it probably gets better later. I do have one friend that says that it doesn't get good until the 3rd game, which is not excusable. But even if it gets later, my time... I'm sorry.
Oh, no. You just killed me.
My time is not so... Like, my time is valuable. It is not so worthless that it's okay for someone to expect me to throw away even 2 hours of my time if I don't have to. If they could have given me a good story at the beginning, they should have.
There's a lady. We're gonna have to fight her next time.
Yeah.
Oh, God.